Bona. And I'm going down with it. Hi there, it's Jan here, and in today's session I'm going to show you how to stop missing those short balls. So there are a few very common mistakes, again, club tennis players make when it comes to attack those short balls. I have players on a week-to-week basis on course, and this is actually one of the things, if you do train with me, you know that we are addressing these weeks, because what I realized, it's from the baseline, the players can hit pretty decent ball, let's say, but then when it comes to the short ball, they are missing, and they are missing so many of these short balls that I always say to my players, how are you going to win the match if you're missing those short balls? If you are actually waiting for the short ball to win the point, but then you're missing it. So you're basically putting yourself in the scenario, in the position that you're not able to convert anything, because from the baseline, it's difficult to win the point unless your opponent really misses. So you're waiting for the short ball. That's when I also play. I'm also waiting for the short balls to go for it to attack. But you cannot be missing 80% of them. Because like this, you cannot go into any tennis match. So if you're missing short balls, make sure you fix this before you get into the tennis match. And I'm going to show you the very common mistakes that players do and how we can fix it. So the most typical mistake number one when it comes to missing those short balls is, I will show you an example from here. The player is hitting on the baseline. Yeah, he's playing on the baseline. Then the short ball comes, the player runs, and they don't make any stop. They just run through, and they overhit. Because basically what happens is when we're running through, without making a stop, we are putting too much of our weight, the body weight, too much of this basically weight transfer into the ball. And of course, if you don't put enough spin, if you don't have a good hand to be able to control the ball, you are more likely to overhit. This happens a lot. So this is the first thing I always work with my players. So I always tell them, I always give them, let's say, a one deep ball, one short, and when they're coming into the short ball, they have to move. They have to make a stop, get a balanced position, and only then they can try to attack that ball. Very important. Again, I'm going to show you one more. So the player's coming, they have to make a stop, short ball comes, and only then they can transfer the weight and they can go into attack it. So again, imagine this one when you make the position, because it's important to really control how much of your weight goes into that ball. If you don't make this stop, this little pause, you're always going to overhit, more likely. Because you are closer to the net, you're tanking it so much, plus the racket head speed. If you don't add enough spin, if you don't have a great hand, you're not gonna get it in. The court is not so big from here. From the baseline, yes, but from here, you have to be very careful. So you have, the way to fix is to make a stop, and now connected with this is the mistake number two. Let's talk about the ball that is quite low. So it's a short ball and low ball. So let's say the ball is around here. And again, lots of players, what they do, they have a low ball and they don't add enough spin on it. When you have the low ball, it's really all about that wrist, actually. When you saw a perfect example, Roger Federer again, back then, he would go, he would make a stop, close stance, short ball, and just spinning. Just with the wrist, just top spin, basically. Because from here, you don't want to go so fast like this. It's out again. I really need to control it with a spin. So actually, I would focus more on placement of the ball, either if I go right or left, in one of those corners, or just away from my opponent, but really staying down, get under, and spin it as much as I can. So that's another one. You really want to use the wrist to spin it. And now we're gonna get into crema de la crema, as I like to say. The high, kind of, you're playing somebody who gives you this kind of ball, check this, like this kind of moon ball again. It lands here, around the service line. That ball, it's quite high, and players come here and they just shank it into the net, or sometimes they just go and they just, again, overdrive back into the back fence, and they are like, oh, so frustrated. And this is the number one most common, because this one doesn't happen. It also happens the low ball, but again, we can fix this. But today I really want to focus on this high one. So I'm going to show you what to do with this again. You have two options. That is basically two options, okay? If the ball is super high, let's say it's coming at you really high and it's going to bounce, you really want to get there and try to hit shoulders high. The moment the ball stops, let's say I'm going to try to get a high ball. Let's see. I'm going to bounce it a bit. Hop. One more. hop, and I'm trying to hit it shoulders high, not so high here now, but shoulders high, I can control it. If you cannot control the shoulders high, you will have to learn this. Yeah, because the idea is when somebody gives you this kind of the ball, you don't want to wait too long because you really need to hit when the ball stops, like this. And you have to go down with the ball. Yeah, because you are here, the racket has to be in this angle at least, and you're going down with it, and you try to hit as early as you can because you don't want to give time to your opponent at the same time. And another thing is, if you wait too long, this is what happens a lot actually, some of my players also. If you wait too long, then again, you are not hitting the ball here and you know you cannot go down with it. So then from here, you're gonna try to go up and you're gonna overhit again. This happens a lot, I will show you. Because then the angle of the racket changes and the racket is too open here, where you want to have it here and go down with it. Huh? So in case it drops down, be very careful not to overhit like this. Yeah, it's very typical. But at the same time, you have to be careful because if you let it drop and you try to go down like if it was up here, of course you're gonna hit the net because now the ball is too low. Yeah? So the bottom line is, it is all about the timing. Timing and when to hit that ball. You really want to hit it on top, shoulders high, and you need to basically master it. Go down with it. Huh? And again, same contact, nice and high. Ball stops, I'm going. This one, left, perfect. Now can go to his backhand. Down. And the ball really goes down. Huh? If you're gonna be hitting the net, let's say, I'm gonna exaggerate a little bit, same, but hitting the net, then it means that the angle of your racket is too close. Now it was too close. Watch this again. I'm trying the same, but the racket is too close. So then you have to adjust the grip or the position of the wrist a little bit. You have to basically, your only job will be to find the right angle that works at that very moment, at that right contact. This is the most important. And you have to work on it as long as it's needed. Huh? So I'm gonna have one of my assistants now feeding me the balls, and I'm gonna try to show you what you really want to do. Let's get into it. So you can do exactly the same exercise as me. You ask your partner or your friend to feed you that easy ball, basically that high short ball, and you try to focus on really hitting it right on top when the ball stops and bring it down. You go just one direction, let's say. So now my job is I'm gonna go forehand cross, short ball attack basically, and let's go at least 10 in a row. And I'm gonna try to get everything in there, of course. Let's go. So first I get a position. Also, the idea is to really make that stop before you hit, yeah? So you're not running through like crazy. I'm gonna really try to hit when the ball stops. Shoulders high. Getting there, ball stopped, transferring the weight. Stops, into the ball. One more. Better to have also close stance on these balls, or maximum semi-open. Let's put deep, but still, good. One more, that's one. And I'm going down with it. One more. Bona. And I'm going down with it. One more. Bah. And on top. And again, getting the position, stop, into the ball. And then I release it, but I have to have a right angle, and I'm not giving time to my opponent. That's the main goal. Again, hop, stop. This one was a bit too high, so you have to wait a bit, yeah. But ideally shoulders high you want to hit. This one, perfect. Good. Yeah, so this is one of the exercises you can work on and really spend time on it. It's crucial. We cannot be missing these short balls. If you're missing these short balls, how are you going to win your matches? This is what you're waiting for. This is the most important, not to miss. You put targets. You go half an hour if needed, cross, half an hour long line. Keep going as long as it's needed. It's so important to know how to deal with these balls. If you did enjoy this session and want to learn much more, make sure to check out my free Forehand Masterclass. There is a link below. And also, if you want to train with me, make sure to check out one of my intensive tennis training weeks. We're running tennis training in Costa Brava, in Tuscany, Italy, also Portugal coming up, and more very interesting and attractive locations on sun. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching. And very lastly, if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification button, and also do let me know in comments if you did like this session or how much you think is going to help you. I'm very curious to know. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and let's start transforming your tennis game today.